Hi, this time, I will be going over the top 3 units, in my opinion, as of 2025 for each element. These aren't the definite best characters, just who I feel are the best. This game is flexible enough to not have true best characters. Contains my bias and preference of playing. First up, Earth Element. The element that's treated like dirt for some reason. Raven A.S. Good hit count, damage, and self-buffs. Flaw being needing state that can expire. Porcelain Pixie. Strong buffs in general with defense that's good but not too simple to use. Flaw being some buffs get a little lower outside pure Earth teams. Nikoko A.S. strong debuffs in any attack type zone. Also has a lot of buffs and ability to change whole team's attack element. Flaw being needing zones to operate, and buffs are a bit lowered for shadow teammates. Next up, Water Element. Eva. Very self-sufficient DPS with multi-hit attacks. Flaw being her AF animations being slow due to copy lunatic. Elseal A.S. strong buffs for water characters and resistance shred. Flaw being very water-specific support. Annabelle. Permanent cover tanking state and various defensive buffs. Flaw being only pure defense and no support or DPS. And then we have Wind, which has way too many strong units. Sestera S. Able to execute nearly her whole skill set in one single action. Anything that's not wind immune is dead to her. She is the closest thing to a I win button in this game. Flaw being low hit spammable attack. Nikoko E.S. has huge amount of buffs and expose weakness. Can change team to any element depending on current elemental zone. Flaw being game doesn't have enough skill slots to use all her good skills, and she also needs awakened zone to operate. Shiguri E.S. high amount of debuffs with ability to cover for party, dodge, and counter attack. Also attacks many times per move, making AF last way longer. Flaw being cover state is hard to keep active often. Fire being the MC's element is arguably the strongest element. Yuan. Strong self-buffs, repeating multi-hit attacks. Flaw being needing 3x shadow teams to work at all. Renrai Alter. Great party buffs and fire link support. Main flaw being no speed buffs. Minakawa S. Tanks, attacks, and counters for a lot of damage. Flaw being needing fire-specific team and fire zone to operate. Lunar elements are introduced much later. We will start with Shade. Clughorn. Repeating multi-hit attack DPS with debuffs and party guard for defense. Flaw being having very little self-buffs for a DPS. Tunva Ease. Huge buffs for all shadow units. And a lot of utility supports like status immunity, HP, MP restore, and such. Main flaw being no speed buffs. Ifai. Makes teammates tank for her and able to revive teammates who have her stack. Gives party rare stack-based lunatic. Able to support and defend by just existing in front line. Flaw being mostly low buffs and weak to enemies who do single target damage. Next up, Thunder, which contains mostly multi-hitters, and thus, one of the best types for late-game HP sponge meta. Izuna. Multi-hit DPS with a lot of self-buffs and also enables constant AF strategies. Arguably, Flaw be slight delay in animation before attacking in AF. Velette A.S. The core of Thunder teams, gives huge buffs in Thunder Zone. Has strong defense and can even force Thunder weakness on enemies. Also able to have strong DPS with her chain ability. Flaw being more useful skills than slots available. Also tricky to use her to her full potential. Olea A.S. Strong defense and tanking for party. Also enables party to AF more often with her AF restore passive. Flaw being her cover is easy to disappear when tanking. Finally, Crystal, the last element, Eva. Being dual element, she works in both water and crystal. Very self-sufficient DPS with multi-hit attacks. Flaw being her AF animations may be slow due to copy lunatic. Tillilil Ease. Her Promised Land alone is one of the best buffs in the game. Also has DPS potential in Moki, one of the best sidekicks. Flaw being max DPS requiring full Shadow Team, and her best DPS skill is not spammable. Alma S able to change her own element to enemy's weakness, and the best counter-attack DPS tank in the game. Her main flaw being having cooldown on her nigh-invincible tank state, which is also her DPS state, and thus be a tricky character to use. Able to do incredible DPS with the right strategies, but also just a tank that dies after 2 turns without the right strategy. Also, some honorable mentions, which don't really fit for elements. Yuna, support with buffs, huge debuffs, huge resistance shred, and restores HP MP. Flaw being animations issues because she does double non-attacking animations on her support skills. Magic DPS that can force magic weakness and invert enemy buffs. Main flaw being her weakness expose is current turn only. Hismenia currently the only start of battle attacking character, meaning she can attack before everyone else. Incredible quality of life for mob clearing. Main flaw being her repeating her same Valor chant for every single battle. And these are the characters I find are the best as of 2025. It's not a definitive list, just mainly based on how I like to play at the stage I am in the game.